Welcome to the Narrowboat that James built. Hope you're well, thanks for joining me. It is very early Sunday morning. Rob and I have got a long trip ahead of us. We've got to drive up to Liverpool, or near Liverpool, and go and have a look at a boat. Okay, so before I go, I should probably explain why I'm driving all the way to Liverpool to look at a boat if I don't have any money to buy a boat. The boat I'm going to go and see is actually owned by a subscriber on the channel who, owing to work reasons, can no longer finish the boat or indeed live on it or enjoy it. And because I said a few videos ago that I'm kind of soon this year I'm going to probably need some extra space, and I kind of got one eye out looking for something, I guess, even though I don't have any money. They kind of came forward, even though I've been speaking to them for a while, they kind of came forward and said, look, I've got a boat, it's not doing anything, it's on the hard standing, it needs finishing, but look, you know, take it, have it, use it. We'll come to some kind of financial arrangement later on. So, you know, that's it, I guess. So, you know, it's kind of, well, it's exciting. It's definitely worth driving to Liverpool for. Come on, let's check it out. Oh, lights. Oh, camera. 200 miles, 2 bacon sandwiches, 4 lattes later, we arrived at the marina. Now we just have to find the boat. And here she is. Fairly generous well deck there at the front. She's a 57-foot cruiser stern narrowboat built in 2007 by what I now believe is Price Fallows. As you can see, it's on the chocks and has been for about 3 years. Here's the only hatch. And back to the well deck. Sides are okay. Heavy pitting around here, certainly around the waterline. Really heavy pitting. Some of them are kind of, that's 2 mil deep, that one. That's all right. Sacrificial rust. There's not enough anodes on it for a start. I think there's only 1. 2 anodes need to be line of sight. 1 there, 1 in the middle, and 1 at the stern. That's the well deck drain, and that's the water line coming up to there. So that's okay. So that kind of just over 9 inches. That's the outlet for the gas locker, which is just below, sorry, just above waterline. Not much though. This is all just flaky blacking, that's not too bad. So the steel work looks okay. Windows look okay. These are from the galley, they're too low. Water lines there, they're far too low. Yeah, that's about 4 inches from the water line. Same in the bathroom, those are too low. Water lines there. That one's too low. Alright, okay, so far so good. It's a 57-foot cruiser stern, it's got a hatch on it, it's got a well deck. It's a really good upgrade to Slow Patrol, so happy days. And the steel work all looks pretty good. Obviously those skin things all need to come out, need to be welded up. Doesn't have to be particularly pretty, just like on Slow Patrol, just put a slab of steel on it, weld it round, it's done. In a marina, you're probably okay with that because you're not going to be listing at all, but on canals, certainly around Berkhamsted, if you see a boat listing, it's listing at least 4 inches sometimes. Mine's listed 7 inches, in which case those skin fittings are underwater, you sink your boat. So they're way too low for that. It's a simple solution to fix them up, and then just to put a whale gulper in to suck all the stuff off at a high level. No problem at all. Steel work looks fine, bit of pitting, but it's not the end of the world. It's a fairly new boat, so it's got a 10mm base plate, 6mm sides, and a 4mm roof. So there's a bit of welding to be done on the sides, but nothing horrific. So yeah, all looks pretty good. Let's go inside. It's probably not right to show you all the living quarters, but essentially it's not fitted out or arranged in the way I would like. So as you can see here, the master bedroom is at the stern as you walk in. So if you like, it's a bit of a traditional layout, and you got the stove right at the end near the well deck. So it needs a bit of it needs a huge reconfig. It probably needs a skip as well, but that's the least of the problems. This is not what I wanted to see, nor is it the condition that the owner thought that the engine was in. This is worrying. Engine bilge full of water. Okay, I've been there. That is rainwater though. As I said, the boat has been on the hard standing for about 3 years. Before that, it was floating. It was being lived on. Since 2007, it's been lived on to 2019 by someone. And then in 2019, change of ownership, taken out of the cut, put on the hard standing. That's where it is. They moved it though fairly recently, and rainwater has gathered down there. That's not the only problem. One of the batteries has exploded, so it's not just rainwater, it's also acid. So the state of the engine is not very good, and the problem is that's a Vitas 42, which is a really good engine. So whether it needs a new engine or that engine being taken out and completely rehauled, who knows, but it's not looking good, is it?
I've had some rain and he's not been here for a long
Yeah, but the engine's submerged in water. That is not looking good.
Just a restaurant top.
Yeah. Apart from ripping off this wind turbine, the first job on this boat is to fix what should have been a bright yellow Vitas. The engine is submerged in rainwater. The gearbox is just above, and one of the batteries has blown. Actually, they've all blown, so there's acid everywhere, and there is a vast amount of corrosion and rust in here. Well, maybe some things are too good to be true. We've just got back. We've been kind of dissecting it on our journey home. The reality is, I don't have the funds available to get that boat from the condition it's currently in into anything that I could even start to live on. It's just way too, if you like, far gone for me. The work required in the engine and the engine bilge will require me to have the boat brought down by transport down to Watford to P&S Marine for them to do all that work, and for me to put it then back onto the cut and then bring it up to slow patrol and then fit out next to me. My pockets aren't deep enough for it. It's a real crying shame, because that boat is an absolute peach. She really is, but it's just not to be. So I'm going to phone the owner now and kind of explain my findings for the day, and kind of explain to him that I'm just not his guy. We had a really good chat about the condition of the engine, the possibilities of different kind of works required. But, you know, this is not just work required to finish the boat, this is work required to restore it. Oh, okay. So you got 1200 watts of solar on the roof. You've got an inverter. You've got a shoreline. But for the owner, the reality is a bit different. The work required, and them being forced to live overseas for work reasons, has meant that this boat has kind of all of a sudden become a bit of a noose around their neck. And it led them to saying to me, well, what if I fronted you the money to get the boat fixed and finished? To which I replied, really? Why? They said that they love that boat and they'd love to see it fitted to the best possible standard, and they can't think of anyone else other than me to do that work. Or words to that effect. Okay, so he didn't say that, but I mean, wow, that's an insanely generous offer. And it's kind of, if you like, put me back in a predicament, because it was easy to walk away from that, just saying, I can't afford it. No, it's ridiculous, regardless of how nice the boat could be, and kind of, in a way, how ideal it was. And him saying, well, I'll front you the money, kind of throws a spanner in the works, because now it is something to think about. You know, we kind of briefly spoke about transporting it down to Watford, putting it in at P&S Marine, maybe getting them to do the majority of the work, getting it BSS'd, getting it insured, chucking on the cut, fitting it out round here, you know, maybe sell Slow Patrol in a year or whatever. Then he recoups his money, or some of it, or you know, whatever. You know, I think he's fully aware that the risk is all on him at this point. I mean, I literally haven't got a penny to put towards it. I've got time-ish, but I don't know, it's all kind of come about like literally like well quick. So there's loads to think about, both for him and for me, in fairness, because, you know, at one point he just thought, well, just crane it in, plonk it in the water and off you go. He did say the injectors need doing, but obviously, you know, that's fairly low down the list now. So, you know, we're both going to sleep on it and think about it again tomorrow. I'm going to, in the meantime, phone Ralph at P&S Marine, which is where this boat was a year ago, getting the prop shaft repaired. So they're a good, safe pair of hands, they are. So I'll give them a buzz in the morning. But yeah, if I can, I'm going to try to sleep tonight. This is quite exciting, though. Right, well, we've had a couple of days to kind of digest this and think about it a bit more. We still think it's a goer, so I'm back from work now. I'm going to give Ralph a call and see if he's got the space, the time and any ideas of what needs to be done. Good afternoon, is Ralph there, please? Thank you. Ralphie, guess who? It's your favourite Narrowboat YouTuber, man. No, not them. No. Guess again. He doesn't even have a boat anymore. No, not them. Think younger. Okay, not them. Think older. I tell you what, I'll give you a clue. The boat's called Slow Patrol. No? It's James. That's it, from the Narrowboat James built. That's it. Oh, good to catch up. Listen, after all that, I don't have much time. I'll cut to the chase. I've been to see a boat, mate, and it looks pretty good from the outside, but engine-wise, it needs some work. Can I send you some photos and you can have a look at it? Alrighty then. So this is getting a bit exciting. Good chat with Ralph. He doesn't seem to think there's any problem with that engine and getting that thing started. So excellent news. Showed him all the sides of the steel on the sides of the boat. He said no problem at all. It's a good boat builder, so it's good steel, but maybe a few little pits that need to be welded up, but that's all fine. So that's good news. He also said that he's got space on the hard standing throughout February and March for that boat to be there. He'll probably squeeze us in somewhere, so that's good news. He's also confirmed it's a Price Fallows. That's good news. Price Fallows, not the biggest boat builder in the world, probably not even the biggest boat builder in Shropshire, which is where they're based. They started making narrowboats in the late 1990s and they're still going. Being steel fabricators, their boats are kind of well regarded for the quality of the steel, the quality of the welds and some quite nice detail. Well, touch wood, it does look like things are moving in the right direction. it would just be the perfect boat as an upgrade to this. It really would. It'd basically be exactly like Slow Patrol, just with an extra bedroom and then a well deck beyond that. It'd just be absolutely perfect for my needs, which is really kind of ultimately why the owner's kind of wanting to go down this road, is because he wants to help me out. He knows it would be, a decent upgrade to this if we can get the work done. And obviously, having had a bit of reassurance from Ralph that the work needed to the engine and the engine build is not as bad as what we initially thought, means there's less risk for the owner to bring it down here, get the work done, and then get it ready. There's no guarantee that it's going to end up as Slow Patrol 2. Anything can change. So, once the work's been done and it's a sail away with a reconditioned engine, then they might decide to sell it on. Alternatively, it might come my way. Obviously, if it were to be the case, then there'll be a transfer of ownership and all of this stuff. But at the moment, the boat's his. It's fine. All I'm doing is kind of facilitating things, organising things, and if it's sold, it's sold. I'm sure he'd see me fine with it, but it's just the way it is. But hopefully, as I said, we'll take it on, and then, as I said, I'd become the legal owner of the boat, and then I would then fit it out on the cut round here. So it would, but that's a long way off. But it does look like things are going in the right way at the moment. So next steps really is for the owner to go to the boat and take his personal effects off it. And then I said everything else will be put in a skip, apart from a few things which will be salvaged or whatever. And for me to arrange some narrowboat transportation. There's a crane at P&S Marine, there's a crane at the marina where the boat is currently, so all we need is a lorry, and then Project 57 is off the ground. I'll see you next time.